I made a list of features I hope to see in the Pokemon Trading Card Game Live soon-ish, maybe? I don't know when, but hopefully soon. Sooner is better than later, right? Welcome to Jank Play TCG. My name is Landon, and here we play Jank. So, I have already recorded this video, and it was supposed to go up today, and it went up, and it didn't have audio. And I'm seeing my microphone. It's moving. You know, the little meter thing telling me I'm yelling too loud is moving. So clearly there's audio being recorded now. So hopefully that will fix this issue. And I'll just record it all over again. So I made a list of features I want to see in the Pokemon Trading Card Game Live that are just features that kind of came to me while I was playing one day. Wrote them down in a notepad. And so I figured might as well go over them. So the first feature that I really want to see in PTCGL, because it's already in PTCGO for the most part, is the ability to copy opponent's deck after a match. See and copy. One of those would be great. Both of them would be better. Just, there's too many times where I'm playing against the deck, and I really want to see how that deck functions. I'm interested in that deck, and being able to see that deck list after the fact would give me the ability to learn, to possibly see a combo that I didn't see before, and that kind of stuff. I'm not a big fan of, like, hidden deck lists and whatnot. I understand, like, in tournaments, they have to be hidden. That I'm okay with. But after the tournament, I think they should be publicly available so that everyone can see the deck and learn from the deck, and, you know, things can move forward and not stagnate so much. But that's just my personal opinion. I know other people have different opinions. And I think when it comes to playing online, that should be a given, is the fact that you aren't going to keep this deck list hidden, you know? You're playing with random strangers online. Any one of them could be recording, putting it up on YouTube, and someone could be dissecting that deck. So just having the ability to see my opponent's deck, I think, is so much better. Let's jump into PTCGL so I can go over... first, let me get into a thing so we can actually look at cards. There we go. Here we go. So the next thing on my wish list is the ability to search cards based on regulation mark. So currently in this filter, we have the ability to look at different sets. You can click all the different sets that you want, but we run into issues with, let's say, Shining Fates. Shining Fates is the easiest one, first one that comes to mind, where we have some E-regulation mark cards, and even if we skip the shiny stuff in there, we have some deregulation mark cards in the same set. Both E and D are in the same set, and so if you're looking for post-rotation and you click Shining Fates, because part of it is post-rotation, but part of it's not, so you're going to see cards that shouldn't be in the rotation, and you can't just click standard format because that rotation hasn't happened yet. So being able to just look at regulation marks, I think, would be very beneficial and really help with the search and everything. Just make it that much easier. I mean, I didn't write this down, but also more search, more filter functions. You know, like basic V, VMAX, V stars, V unions, okay, restored. But we don't have GXs in here. We don't have big E, big X. Hopefully we'll have little E, little X soon. But yeah, just more functions in here in order to... I mean, down here we have Pokemon GX. So in attributes we have Pokemon GX. But in stage we have a different... We have VMAX and V-Star. And it's just very weird to me how that is. Like, just make it a lot simpler, you know. That one was off the cuff. Maybe that's less of an issue for other people. The next one is the ability to search cards outside of deck creation. So right now we are building a new deck. That's how we are able to, look at all these cards. And there's a handy app on the phone that lets you just look at cards, which is nice and everything. It doesn't even go back to all of Expanded, though. So, you know, I find it awkward that we have two separate apps. One just to look at cards and another one to build decks and play. If they just combined them so we could just look at our collection in PTCGL, I think that would be a much smoother way of handling all this. You know, me having to be on my phone searching through sets to find interesting cards and everything, and then jump onto PTCGL to start building. Why can't I just search on PTCGL a lot easier and start building almost right away? You know, I think that could really help. Let's see. This next one, I think, is going to be something that no one else cares about except me. The ability to play mobile game, so the mobile on the phone, sideways, and it looked like the desktop view. I think that would be fantastic, but this other one is the one I think people won't even think about or care about, is the ability to play on the desktop with the mobile view. So on desktop, having a long, the long version of it, not the wide version of it, with all the shortcuts that the mobile version has. I don't know how many people have this set up. I currently don't, and I probably never will, even if they include this feature, but I know it would help some people. I know there were programmers I used to work with where they would have a monitor turned sideways, so it'd be very long, and it allowed them to look at a lot of code all at once, and they just found it really helpful. So I imagine if the desktop version had the ability to kind of format itself to one of those long monitors, that would be an interesting way to play, and that might get some more people interested. That's more of a hope, not an expectation, but all of this is just wish list, right? So, yeah. Next one is seeing upcoming set/revealed cards would be cool. That would be fantastic. That would mean that basically when they show a card in English or in Japanese, I wouldn't mind Japanese, but at least in English, when they show a card, if it was instantly in PTCGL, it was like, okay, we're going to reveal this card, and at the same time, we're going to put on PTCGL, so I can see the reveal, go into PTCGL, and be looking at the card in a lot more detail, along with all the other cards, so I can start planning interactions. And it would be even cooler if I could even start deck building, an invalid deck, obviously, but start deck building with those cards, so that they can be ready to go. Sure, they won't be playable in, like, even test deck, but just having an image in the game, I think would be phenomenal. Really advertise the next coming up stuff, and just make it easier for a lot of people to get excited for the next set. Right now, you have to go to so many different news outlets and whatnot, and it's kind of spread all over the place, but bringing all of it home into PTCGL, I think, would be a phenomenal update. So, yeah, upcoming sets/revealed cards in PTCGL as soon as they're revealed, so we can start looking at them in-game. Next up, what did I write? See all Pokemon of a name instead of just the same print. This one, it's so frustrating. So here we can see all these Absols. There's 4 different Absols, right? You click on one of them, and you click available, and it only shows us one particular print. And that's frustrating to me, because sometimes I'll be, let's say I'm looking at a set. I'm looking at Crown Zenith, right? Ooh, Absol. Absol's got this really cool attack, Lost Claw, where 70 damage, put a random card from your opponent's hand into the Lost Zone. That's taking away resources from my opponent. That's really cool. What other Absols could I combo this with? Let me look at all the available ones. Oh no, it's just the available of that print. Okay, so now I have to change my search function, removing this filter. So now I can search Absol. I only did that because, if you're not looking at Absol, the top card, you're looking at something else, you'll need to search for it. Okay, now I can see all... Wait, are these all the ones? Let me show it all. Okay. Okay, these are all the Absols. Cool. And it's just really convoluted. If I could just click on Palkia here and be like, oh, this is a cool Palkia. What other Palkias are there? Let me see all that are available. Oh, okay. They're not. Or at the very least, when I'm in this view, maybe when I click that arrow, it goes through all the Palkias rather than going through every Pokemon. Because when I'm in this view, and I click this arrow, and it just goes through the entire collection of cards. There's no rhyme or reason to what I'm cycling through. It's very awkward. I would love it if we could more easily all the cards of that name. Of course, also, another thing, I think Amipom here is a good example. If I search Ambipom, why do I not see the basics attached to that? I think automatically it should. Yes, it's not part of the name. I understand that, but I think it should just, bring up the basic as well. Also, when I search the basic, why isn't it showing me the stage 1? That name is literally on the stage 1 up here. Stage 1 evolved from Amipom, or Apom. Why can't I see that? Just being able to see the evolutions, I think, would be great in the search function and everything. So, more refinement there in order to make it easier for us to build decks. Next one, organize cards by set rather than alphabetically. When I previously recorded this, it does have this sort by expansion method, which is nice and everything. Do I have all clicked? I do. Which is nice, but when I was quickly scrolling through, I did see some issues with it. I'm not seeing them now. Maybe they've been fixed. That's a little strange. I should have these cards. You guys saw me do the opening. I redeemed the code cards. I should have these cards. It's showing 0 for some reason. But why are they below Crown Zenith? That's a little weird. And then we've got a Brixen here, and then a Venonat, and then a Milotic, and that's not how a set is generally organized. So what's going on with these ones? And yeah, it just seems like there's not a lot working with this functionality, sadly. So more refinement of that. I didn't even know this functionality technically worked. It doesn't seem like it works very well, though. So yeah, it's still on my wish list for it to just work correctly. And then the last thing is board interactions. Let me see. Exit. You can see all these decks I've built. Let's jump into this one. Test deck. I want board interaction. Something interesting to do on the board while it's not my turn, or even while it is my turn. I know in Hearthstone and Magic the Gathering Arena, there's different things you can do with the board. Even with Hearthstone, there's a little, puff of dust when you click the board. That's kind of similar to this green thing, but this is all we have. Hearthstone also has, an animal companion thing that you select. And I'm not saying there should be a Pokemon with the Pokemon cards, because that might get a little confusing and a little weird. But, having something on the board that we can interact with, I think would be really cool. And it would be another form of customization. I honestly would love to be able to customize, my half of the board over here. Basically a playmat of sorts, where, it's not just blue and red, but, actual design. I would definitely pick a Shroomish Breloom design. But, and then I would be able to see my opponent's customization, and it would just bring a lot more interesting aspects to the TCG for a lot of different players, in my opinion. And that is all of my wish list. Those are at least the ones I had written down. So let me know what you want to see in the Pokemon Trading Card Game Live. And, if you have any ideas, I don't want to just see, fix bugs, because every game has bugs, but I understand there's more bugs in Pokemon TCG Live than you would normally see in a finished product. It is still technically in beta. up until March 31st at the very least. Then it's really not in beta anymore. It is the way to play the Pokemon TCG digitally online. But that's a whole nother discussion. But let me know your wish list items for Pokemon TCG Live. You've probably got some pretty good ones that I forgot to put on this list or didn't think of at the time. So let me know down in the comments. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy what I'm doing here. We are very close to 100 subscribers. Once we hit 100 subscribers, we will have the Discord server, and that'll be a lot of fun because we can more directly interact with each other, talk about Jank cards, decks, formats, or other games. That sounds like a lot of fun to me. And of course, until next time, keep playing Jank.